video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using Hex Merchant, as always, using a really interesting build. Well, this build focuses on using the Hex Totem, Hex Survivor Hook. What this perk does, basically, every time we hook a survivor and they get unhooked 24 meters away from us, we get a token. At 2 tokens, we gain 5% haste for 10 seconds after we hook a survivor. 3, we can instant down every single person, and then 5, we can instant kill every person. Hex Undying, this protects our totem. If someone is near a dual totem, we can see their aura. And then also, if a totem were to get destroyed, instead, this one gets destroyed instead. We have the main focus of today's video, Hex Blood Faith. What this perk does, if a survivor gets hit by any reason, injuring a survivor by any means, every pallet 13 meters away from that survivor will be blocked and cannot be thrown down. And then of course we have scored the Pain Resonance because we needed a perk to stop gens, Brunner Generator to make all survivors oblivious, and of course Battle Targeting Process to make all survivors move slower when we chase them and they have claw traps. Without further ado, let's get to the game so I can show you how great or bad this build is. Okay, putting on Father Campbell's Chapel. So the reason why this video is kind of late, like I told you many times, I have a bunch of videos on my computer waiting to be uploaded. I just didn't have so whenever y'all request a certain video, that I make that one first, because in my opinion the request videos are more important than anything else. I'm unintelligible, so this Sable has optical reception, but she can't see me, so I'm going to see her instead, and then the Hex Blood Faith is going to activate and block the pallets. So the whole point of this build is trying to get as much value out of Hex Blood Faith as possible, but it's kind of hard to do that because at the time of recording this video, when I had planned to make this video, by the way, I had planned to make this when Scrum Merchant wasn't bugged, but because Scrum Merchant has a big bug right now on her, this video is not gonna go exactly as planned. Also, in my opinion, she shouldn't have been able to down me right there or hit me with a pallet, but she just teleported basically back into the pallet, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I know she's gonna vault the window, but instead she decides to have quick and quiet. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, please hit her before she gets to the pallet, and no. She just claw trapped though, so now she can't vault or she can slow down. So I get finally down her, and I'm like, yay. So my Hex Blood Paper, I believe, got cleansed instantly, by the way. Ooh, this is so much fun. But I am gonna get my Hex Wire Hope, hopefully. Now the reason why Hex Blood Paper is bad is because of things like this, where basically the perk gets cleansed in less than like 4 seconds. Thanks to the Blood Favor, because this event, the Blood Moon event, is still activated during this video, which is kind of funny. Thanks to the Blood Moon event, I'm going to just immediately hit him with my long range lunge. As you can see, my Blood Favor is no longer there, and that's the main problem with Blood Favor. The whole point of this video is to showcase that which one's better, Blood Favor or Death Solution. In my opinion, Death Solution's better, but because of the fact that Death Solution and Blood Favor are bugged with Scrum Merchant, I want to try to make a video. Well, before they were bugged, I tried to make a video trying to test them both out. They're both good for different reasons. Blood Favor is better in certain situations because you can use Blood Favor plus Hex Penamento, which makes survivors do all the gens 30% slower, which is pretty good. You can use Blood Favor and like this perk, Hex Undying, not Hex Undying, yeah, Hex Undying to protect it, or you can use Hex Survivor Hope to hopefully try and instant kill survivors. There's so many different Hex strategies you can do just from having one Hex perk. The problem is the fact that it's a Hex perk, so it can be destroyed, and it most likely will get destroyed. She's gonna drop pallet on me. She's like, I'm gonna wait at the pallet. I'm not gonna try and mind game anything. I'm gonna just wait. Which kind of annoys me, because I'm like, move forward, woman. Like, do anything else. But she's like, nope, I'll wait at the pallet. I catch this guy off guard. He's like, what? Detective Tap? I do one of my favorite survivors is Detective Tap, by the way, so I'm kind of glad I see one, but also no one really plays him. I think he has like really bad skins, and he's kind of easy to see, but he has some really interesting perks. Not really terrible, but not really like amazing either. But yeah, so we're gonna hook him. But that's the main problem with Blood Paper. It's just, it literally gets destroyed in 4 seconds. As you saw in the first game, it literally got destroyed immediately, so now we have no Blood Favor, and we basically only have 2 perks. Which is perfectly fine, because Scrum Merchant can easily win with just 2 perks. Well, not really easily, but I can definitely win with Scrum Merchant with just 2 perks. As long as I get my what's it called? My Hex, not Undying. My Hex are Hope stacks. I should be good, but I don't want to be too close to the hook because I want to get a stack, but also I want to protect my Hex Totem. So right here, I'm going to chase, of course, David, but David's going to go in the middle of nowhere. And I believe he has Calm Spirit because he didn't scream, but it's kind of funny. My drone's going to scan him, so now he has one lock on stack, and also I move a little faster. And I noticed that everyone's on the left side for some reason. I'm like, why? So this pallet I know is definitely down, but he's going to have to vault it in order to, what's it called? In order to go over it. So I'm like, huh. Then, of course, they do a gen. I'm like, no. But it's kind of fine, because as long as I don't stay next to this hook, and as long as they don't cleanse my derived hope, we should have the power to instant down everyone, and then they're going to be scared. And I'm like, yay. And then I realized that my totem is all over here. I'm like, I need to protect this. I'm going to lose. And I'm like, why did I get the worst totem spots possible? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, what? This totem not only is in the middle of absolutely nowhere, but also it has no cover and right next to a gen. So it's just like the worst luck possible. So now I'm like, well, I got my tokens, but I gotta find a survivor, and I gotta somehow pray they don't find my totem, which is in the most obvious spot possible. But the only thing that's bad about it is the fact that it is like in the middle of nowhere. So being in the middle of nowhere makes it kind of harder to find. But at the same time, it's like you're right next to a generator, so it's no problem. So right here, this girl's gonna vault the pallet. I'm like, okay. She probably thinks I'm looking for an M1 and I'm not gonna enter down her. But she drops the God pallet. I'm like, okay. See, most people wouldn't drop the God pallet because they wouldn't think, you know, anything special. But apparently she's like, I'm gonna drop every pallet I see. I'm like, you do that. So because of that reason, I'm not gonna be able to get a free hit. But guess what? The Teletap's here. But I'm like, no. I don't want to showcase that I have my perk. So I'm gonna go either for this girl again, who falls from the sky. She's like, please kill me. I'm like, yes ma'am. And now everyone's alert to the fact that I had Derived Hope, and they're like, wait a minute. So I'm gonna hook her immediately, and then I'm gonna try and make sure I can actually, you know, defend my Derived Hope before it gets obliterated by the survivors. And now I'm gonna go after the Teletap because I'm like, well, I already got my Derived Hope. But now they already did one gen. I'm like, this is the reason why I use Desolation. Because at least with the Desolation, if they vault any pallets, it gets broken. But Blood Favor, they have to drop it, and then it's like, ugh. But, you know, you can't use either of them right now. Well, you can, but, like, I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend using Desolation over Blood Favor. Because it works more often than Blood Favor does. Also, the survivors can't counter it unless they literally the survivors can't counter it at all unless they just don't vault the pallet. Meanwhile, with Blood Favor, they can easily get out the 13-meter radius, or they can just be like, okay, I'm gonna break the totem, and then the perk's completely useless. So I see scratch marks, so I'm gonna try and figure out who that is because I need to kill them before my totem goes away. This girl dies in the hook, and I'm like, yay, one less person I deal with. But then I'm kind of worried. I'm like, I haven't heard any movement. That must mean that my totem, and then, yeah. There it is. So the girl decided, oh, David at least, decided he would rather go after the totem than rescue the girl on the hook for some reason. So now I'm going after David, who's oblivious because he doesn't know where I am, thanks to my add-on. And then I realized that's not David. And that's the reason why I really wish they would showcase on the Super Radar who is who. Because the fact that both of them got on the radar at the same time, but I had no way to know who's who, is a problem. So I'm glad to David because David's oblivious. Now I noticed that the other girl's oblivious too, so I'm like, great. I can grab either one I want. They don't know where I'm coming from. And every time they get hit by a drone, the timer on the cloud chart resets. David's like, oh, I guess kill me. I'm like, yes ma'am. And now David's gonna die. And all we have to do now is find the last person, and we win. And that's how you turn a really bad game into a really good game, by the way. But I know exactly where she is. She doesn't know where I am because oblivious. And in locker. So I'm like, please die. He can still track survivors who are in locker, which is a really good thing. If you couldn't, that'd be so stupid. But it's just funny to me because she's like, well, I lose now. I'm like, you didn't do anything wrong the entirety of the game. Like, you literally, I don't think I saw you once. So the fact that I never hooked that girl one time, but at the end of the game she just loses because of the fact that she got claw trapped is so funny to me. But yes, that was the first game of the video where we showed off, well not really, we tried to show off Hex Blood Favor, but it's impossible to do that because it's just impossible. Like, it's so weird. It's a really good perk, and I'm gonna showcase. Yeah, words. I'm gonna showcase it more throughout this video. But sometimes it goes really, really well, and then sometimes it does not. It just sometimes you get unlucky. That's all it really is. Like you get unlucky and your totem spawns are in really bad spots, then they're gonna cleanse it immediately. If you don't get unlucky, there's a high chance that you'll get a really good totem spot and they never cleanse it. But Desolation doesn't have this issue, so I just feel like you should figure out which one you want to do. But anyway, that was me. As you can see, I'm in gold right now because this video was recorded at a different time than the other video. But I am technically rank 1, so I'm the best gold merchant in the world. That's how you make sure you know that. But anyway, let's go to the next game of the video so I can show you how great this build is. Okay, playing on Grim Pantry. So finally, literally in the last game, we got a pretty good map, but the game was like, we're gonna put you in the worst possible location with all of your totems. Then the game's like, we're gonna bless you and give you the best map in the game for totems, because literally, well, not really the best. This, in my opinion, the best map for totems is the other swamp map, the one with the boat. But this one is just as good too. The only problem with this one is some of the totems can spawn in pretty obvious spots, but then some totems can spawn like in the literal hardest to find place ever, and it makes it so good. Hopefully in this game we can actually have a good totem spot. As you can see the totem right there, but hopefully that guy didn't see that. He's blind, but I'm pretty sure he's not. But let's just pray he is, that way we don't find it. Even if they do find it, it doesn't really matter because we have Hex on dying. But this guy's gonna have live and immediately go away from me. I'm like, okay. And my drone's like, I'm not gonna be able to scan him because I'm useless. I'm like, yes. But then he's gonna try and just like mind game this pallet for some reason. I'm like, you do that. And then I'm gonna get a scan. Because I knew he had live, I didn't have to worry about that. I wanted to figure out who's on this generator and try and get them off of it. And they're like, I'm gonna go over here. I'm like, luckily for me, I missed. And then there's no pallets over here. So I'm like, okay. But she's the pallet over here because of Hex Blood Favor. The one time it actually was useful, they couldn't use the pallet. So now I'm like, yay! And then the winner right here, I'm like, yep, here we go. And then she's gonna run right towards me. So I'm like, okay, Hex Blood Favor doesn't activate. So in theory, you know, maybe they can't use the Shack pallet because of Hex Blood Favor. But no, Hex Blood Favor does not reach that far for some reason. And then she's gonna drop it. I'm like, you do that. Boop, boop. Break this pallet. I'm so glad they dropped it because honestly, God pallet is amazing. So now the Shack isn't nearly as strong anymore because of the God pallet gone. Gonna kick this generator. Even though I found 2 people, I've injured them, but I can't really do anything because they just run away too fast, and I don't have any drones set up around the map yet. It's kind of my own fault, really. I should have just put drones first, then chase the survivors, but sometimes I just think to myself, like, okay, I'm gonna chase survivors first, and then I'll do drones later, but that's not how that works. So right here, this girl's like gonna go towards the middle of the corner for some reason. So I'm praying she does not see my totem. And I don't even see the totem myself, so I'm like, okay, clearly she must not have seen it. And we're gonna try and hook her immediately to the closest possible hook, which seems to be all the way across this stupid annoying building. I'm praying there's no saboteur, and luckily for me there's not. But now I'm gonna go after the guy who has a flag on him. But the problem is I don't know where he is, so we gotta check our hand day radar, and he's right in front of me. But it's kind of funny. And then he's gonna go right there. I'm like, okay, but now I know that he knows that I'm there. Whoa, what? Yeah, now he knows I know that he's coming. This guy's gonna blind me, and the dude right in front of me. I'm like, okay, smart boy. But the problem is, now I get a free hit on you, so it's like, is it really worth it? Not to mention, 1 free hit equals hopefully a quicker down, and I have Dire Hope. And I still have all my perks surprisingly. So right now I'm hoping, you know, Blood Favor activated and got rid of some of these pallets, but no. The problem with Blood Favor, like I said, is the fact that basically you hit a survivor, and then 32 minutes from that survivor, every single pallet is gonna be blocked. But here's the problem: if the survivor runs, which they will, they can literally run from one pallet to the next pallet, and they're gonna most likely be out of a 32-meter range. So then the Hex Blood Favor is kind of useless. Now, of course, if they stay in the loop, they can't use the pallet. But it's just like half the time they're not gonna stay, so it's kind of useless. Another problem with it is that because of Storm Merchant's bug, she can't use her drones to activate the perk anymore, which is a big problem. And that's a really big issue that Storm Merchant has to deal with. I have to M1 someone, get the cooldown, and then chase survivors. Meanwhile, I have my drone. The drone can do it for me. And then the drone does it for me. I don't have to worry, and I can chase survivors much, much better. But apparently, Behavior is like, no, no, no. We're going to bug the killer, and then we're not going to make it so that's possible. I'm like, why? Although you watch this video, you can literally see exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if I claw trap someone randomly, Hack the Blood Paper should activate. Like, it used to do that, but it doesn't do that anymore for some reason, so that's fun. But then other perks, like, other perks will activate instead of Hex Blood Paper, which have the exact same, injury requirement. So I don't really understand why it does that, but that's just behavior. We add a new killer and we somehow break the game. Makes no sense, but they figured out a way to do it. I literally saw a video. Oh, I saw a comment. I see it a lot, actually. I thought that girl was smart and she saw me, but apparently she's like, nope. So I'm going to go after her because I'm like, yay. So as you can see right there, like literally that, right there. Someone got claw trap. Hex Blood Paper should activate and block every generator that's 13, every hook that's 13 meters near that person. And it did not, because that's not how that works. Apparently drones don't do it anymore. This girl, I don't know what she was doing, honestly. But she didn't go anywhere. This guy's like, I was fine. I'm like, yes, you do. But I want to hit you. Yep, off the record, you're probably going to come back, honestly. But he did not. So I'm like, yay. And I know I haven't hooked a single person on a score trick yet, because my score trick is in the worst possible place ever. So because this girl is going to stop struggling, I'm like, okay, I'll hook you in a score trick. I don't know why she stopped struggling, considering how they have 2 gens. She's never been hooked one time, but I feel like she's gonna give up on the hook because of what people do. And then watch her give up on the hook, and then her teammates suffer and lose the game because of it. But we'll see what happens. But yes, right there you saw Hex Blood Paper didn't do anything because of the fact that even though I scanned the person with my drone and he had a claw trap on him, Hex Blood Paper was like, nope. So right here, I'm gonna go after this guy. I'm praying they don't rescue that girl immediately, because if they do, they're gonna know I have Hex Devour Hope. And luckily for me, they did not. So because of that reason, they don't know I have Hex Devour Hope yet. Because the way it works is once you get 3 tokens, next time you hit someone, I believe with a special attack or a regular attack, I think, everyone's alerted to the fact that you have Devour Hope, and they're going to immediately try and cleanse it because they don't want to die instantly. So right here, this girl is like, I don't know you Devour Hope yet. I'm gonna try to go after you. For some reason, the game's like, there's no pallet here. I'm like, yay! And we get a free down. Now everyone's gonna probably look around the entire map for a totem, and I'm gonna pray they don't find it because honestly, I need that totem. Then someone's gonna get cloud trapped. I'm like, yay! Hook this girl in the basement and go after the guy who's cloud trapped. But yes, I lost my train of thought. But what I was trying to say was, in the middle, this game is trying to showcase, Hex Blood Paper, and finally we got a good map. I'm blinded again, by the way, I can't see. Finally we got a good map where Hex Blood Paper is actually really useful. By the way, that guy would never, well, the guy's on the hook right now, but if he wasn't on the hook, he would never go for the rescue. I mean, he would never go for the gen, because he knows that he would just die, because I'd be the exposed right now. I would have got about the power, but he's like, I'm not stupid. I'm like, dang it. But he's still dead because, I'm me. Now, in theory, they should go for the unhook, but they can't because, I am right next to the hook. Also, I have, Devour Hope. But then I'm a little away from the hook. They can probably go for the rescue, but it looks like the other girl went for the other girl instead of going for Adam. And now she is oblivious and doesn't know where I'm coming from. And I'm gonna be down her. But then I missed because, I'm stupid. But I grab her soul out of this lock. I love the fact that, and then she just misses every single skill check for some reason on the grab, but it's not funny. And we're gonna hook her, and Adam's dead. I'm so happy because honestly, this build went exactly as planned. Adam died, the guy on the hook died. Now all that's left is an injured Nancy, which should be really, really easy to see. Well, here at least, because Nancy's kind of loud. The problem is I have no idea where she is. Also, I don't know why. And then I forgot. I was like, why do I have a speed boost? I forgot. Hex Survivor Hope gives you a speed boost after you hook a survivor. You get a 10% haste boost, which is kind of funny. I don't really need it honestly, but it doesn't hurt. So I don't know. I have no idea where Nancy went. She didn't get scanned by a drone, so I kind of don't know where she is. But it doesn't really matter because as long as I find the hatch before her, I win. But I have a strange feeling she's gonna find the hatch because, you know, I'm unlucky. But the game was like, not only gonna give you the best time possible, we're also gonna give you the hatch. I'm like, yay. So now I'm like, please, Nancy, just give up. Let me kill you. And I have no idea where she is. So I'm gonna cut to the fact when I finally find her because honestly, I have no idea where she is. Okay, I was looking for Nancy for about like half the time, half the end of the timer. Nancy was like, I'm gonna get hit by a drone. I'm like, yay, and now she's oblivious and she had no idea where I'm coming from, but I'm going to kill her. I put a drone near every exit gate just in case. Now Nancy's like, please don't kill me. And I'm like, but you must die. I'm really happy about that. It was kind of funny. But also, I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, I'm not really mad at Behavior for having like a bunch of bugs in the game. I get it. But the main reason why it annoys me is because I just don't understand. Like, I'm not a video game maker, but I just don't understand how bugs occur. Like, y'all literally added a new killer, a new map, 3 new perks, 3 new perks for the other person, 3 new perks for the killer and survivor. Y'all fixed a bug for Skull Merchant that was visual, fixed a few bugs for other characters, and that's basically it. But somehow, just doing that has now turned more bugs into the game for every killer, and more bugs for survivor. Unbreakable is broken at the moment. Not Unbreakable. Sorry. What's the perk called? Off the record is broken right now. Skull Merchant doesn't work. Her drones don't work with her power as intended. It's just weird. But anyway, that was the second game of the video. Goes into the next game of the video so I can show you how great this build is. Okay, Mother's Dwelling. I hate this map. But it's not that bad for Skull Merchant either because you can put your drones in really annoying spots and they can't really do much about it because the loops on this map are weird where the drone's height can still see above certain objects. And right here I'm going to hit this guy immediately. And he's like, oh wait, I wasn't expecting a Skull Merchant. And then he immediately runs away. Probably scared him, honestly, but I'm fine with that. So then I realized that my totem's right here. I'm like, dang it, this guy has eyes. And I swing at air because I'm bad. I could have mind gamed that. I don't know why I tried to do that, honestly. Mind gaming that palette is a terrible idea, but I tried it anyway. So I'm trying to down the guy as quickly as possible because honestly, I want to get a quick down if I can. But he's in the main building now, and the main building's kind of annoying. But I do have a tiny speed buff, so maybe I can use it to my advantage. I expect him to vault that window, but he did not vault the window. So I'm like, yay! And he drops right in front of me, so I get a quick down. And as long as on the generator, there's a score trick right here, and hopefully, yes, and no gens are completed. But yes, just like in the last game, I was talking about how there's bugs. I get there's bugs, but it's funny because someone said it's just proof that Behavior does the entirety of Dead by Daylight with one code of spaghetti, and the second they add or remove something, the entire game breaks, and it's so true. At least it feels like it's true because I just don't get it. How you can have so many bugs so quickly off after one update, not to mention not fix obvious and like mini bugs that have been in the game for years. So I don't get it, but I don't know. I might have video game programmers. I can't really comment on that honestly, but yeah. So there's a Claw that's like, I'm gonna flashlight you when you're not looking at it. I'm like, yes, you do that. And now she goes towards the main building again because everyone loves the main building. She's gonna vault this window, but it was so obvious that I went the other way. And now there's another window, so I'm like, oh. She saw my totem, so now I really have to kill her because now she's seen it, she must die. So I'm like, where are you gonna go? And she's like, I'm gonna vault this immediately. I'm like, oh no. But it's fine because she vaulted it and didn't go anywhere. So I'm like, okay. Then she's going to flashlight me. I don't know what she's trying to do. I'm confused. But I'm going to hit her on the score trick because I can. And then it hit me that I did not get my Durara Hope stack. Why is that? That's kind of triggering me. So because of that reason, I'm like, I need to get 20 meters away from the person. That way I can get my Durara Hope. And then it hit me. My Durara Hope is gone. And I'm like, this is the reason why I don't use Hex perks anymore. Because at least with old Skull Merchant, I could put a drone near a Hex perk and be like, okay, my drone is here. If anyone goes into this Hex perk, I'll see it. But for some reason, not for some reason, but like now it's like, no, I can't do that anymore. It's kind of annoying. But now Steve is like, I would trade places with Claudette. And I'm like, Okay. So now I'm going to go after Steve. And this is so weird. It's literally the back and forth between Steve and Claudette. Because of the Hex of Blood Favor, this palette is blocked. The one time I got actual use out of this perk, he got a Claw Trap on him, so even if he wanted to use Dead Hard, he couldn't. And then we're gonna hook him on this hook because we already got we already got our score trick out of him, so honestly we don't need it anymore. And it's kind of funny because in the first game, we got no value out of Hex of Blood Favor, but we got value out of Devour Hope. In the second game, we got no value. Oh no, we got value out of every perk, but our Hex Blood Favor didn't really do much, but it was at least up the entire game. And then in this game, we have Hex Blood Favor being the only perk standing, while the rest of them are dead. Hex perks are kind of hard to use sometimes because they get cleansed. The only Hex perk that I use sometimes and don't really care if it gets cleansed or not is two of them. There's Hex Face of Darkness, because it makes all survivors scream and reveal their aura to you. I find it really good. Now, it's not really that useful on Skull Merchant, in my opinion, because of the fact that Skull Merchant can already track survivors pretty effectively. But the main reason why I like using it is, first thing, it gets rid of Distortion. Like, Distortion actually is useless against that perk, because it will just burn out your Distortion stacks every 25 seconds. It takes 30 seconds for a survivor to get a Distortion stack. This girl's, I'm gonna drop this pad. I'm like, you're not. I love Blood Favor. I love Blood Favor when it works. Like, it's so good when it works, but it's just like, as you can see right now, this girl's gonna run at least 13 meters away from me. Well, at least from where she got hit at. And now, because she's 13 meters away from where she got hit at, she has to find a different palette. But luckily for me, she didn't find a palette, and she also went in a straight line for some reason. Instead of trying to go anywhere else. And right now, this game is going pretty well. The only problem is, I kind of need to kill Steve, because Steve is dead on hook. And if I kill him, it's a 1v3 instead of a 1v4. And beating a 1v4 is much harder than beating 1v3. So, I kind of want to kill Steve, but also I don't really feel like tunneling him. But it's not really tunneling anymore, because honestly, he's had time to do gens. He's fine. But yes, if you're tunneling, I don't know why, but people really hate tunneling. Well, I know why, but what I mean is that people really hate tunneling. But we'll try and use the excuse of, like, we'll try and say something like, this is tunneling, but in reality it's not. And this makes me laugh. So right here, Steve is going to try a mind game, but I'm like, no. My drone's useless. It doesn't scan him, so I'm like, I wish you were moving. Why are you not moving? Like, my drone decided it didn't want to move, so now I gotta go underneath it so the bug will get fixed. Another example of a bug that has been happening with Skull Merger ever since she got reworked, by the way. I don't want to start complaining about bugs, honestly, but it's just like, again, I said in every video, it's just kind of aggravating when you play the killer and it doesn't work. It's like when you play Blight, and then Blight's like, I'm gonna do a second cooldown animation. Like, no. That's not how it works. Right here, I'm going to use my Untellable Size effect to catch survivors off guard. I know the windows right here. I'm kind of mad at myself. But because the windows right here, I can't chase this girl easily. This already has been kicked 4 times, or regressed 4 times, which is kind of sad. I'm going to hook her on a score trick, knowing I'm pretty sure I already used her score trick in Resonance. But it doesn't really matter. And then my Hex Blood Favor finally gets cleansed. But the only reason why I don't care is because Steve and Nia are both dead on hook. So all I have to do is find Steve again, kill him, or find Nia one more time and kill her. So I'm not really that mad, honestly. It did its job, and for once, it's actually really useful. So I can't be upset. This guy's gonna go run on the map. It's Steve, so I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna try and get a cloud up on him, because if you injure someone, if you already have someone injured and you get a cloud up on them, they get deep wounded, and when they're deep wounded, they can't use Dead Hard. Which is the whole point of me trying to get him deep wounded. He's still deep wounded, and he has Dead Hard, by the way. But it's kind of funny, or at least he had Dead Hard, or maybe he had off the record. I don't really know. But Claudette's like, I'm gonna take a hit for him. I'm like, y'all all can get injured. That's perfectly fine with me. Makes it easier for me. But anyway, and it's kind of funny too when you're claw trapped. Not only are you inflicted with the what's it called, deep wound stats effect, you also are still broken. Like, you still can't heal. So it's kind of funny. Like, you have to cleanse yourself from the deep wound or you're gonna die, but you also can't heal or you're gonna die. You also can't heal yourself, and I can still track you. And because you're oblivious, you know where I'm coming from. So it's just like a really good and strong thing that I love. Well, sadly, because I didn't claw trap him, the Steve did heal himself again. So I have to find him again and try and figure out where he is. But I can easily do it. Speaking of that, I want to talk about requests. If you're this far in the video, I'm so glad you're still here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is a long video, by the way. So I'm sorry if you don't like watching long videos, or if you can't watch the full video. Of course, you can always just, watch it, come back later. But if you're this far in the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love reading y'all's comments. If you have any requests, let me know. I actually plan to do a I realize the channel's growing. By the way, I am extremely grateful for all the support I get. Even negative comments, or I know negative comments aren't really support, but even negative comments or comments asking me like why I play Store Merchant, or do I agree with this, yada yada yada. I love video comments because I respond to every comment, no matter what it is. Someone literally commented asking me, "Don't you think like this is unfair for survivors?" Yada yada yada. That this girl's like, "I give up." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." Like, don't you think this is unfair for survivors, or that this. I don't even remember honestly what I commented because it's a long paragraph. But because I try and speak in long paragraphs, because I feel like if I give you a long paragraph with my opinion, it's way easier for you to understand. But basically, he was talking about how hate on Scrub Merchants warranted. Basically, before her rework, she was annoying and unbalanced and not healthy for the game, and which I agree with. And then he was like, the rework was bad too, and I'm like, no, I like the rework. And then basically he was like talking about different things like that, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion, but basically you're just saying this is wrong, and I'm like, but it's wrong for you, but it's not wrong for me. And I was just like different things like that. But anyway, my point is I respond to every comment, and I love reading y'all's comments. It doesn't really matter what you say, I'm still going to respond or answer any questions y'all have for me. I'm gonna scan her twice right there, so now one more time she gets scanned, and she's a cloud trap. Well, she knows that, so she's gonna try her hardest to not get cloud trap. But instead of going to the window, she decides to just go down here and get stumbled. But I know there's a window right here, so I'm like, okay. So I'm praying there's no dead hard. But of course, there is dead hard, so I'm like, oh no. And the window right here, but I prepared for that. Luckily, she doesn't have balanced landing. Now she is even more mangled. She already was, but now she can slow down. And then she's like, my last ditch effort, I'm gonna use my flashlight. I'm like, no, you're going to die. Which is kind of funny. Now I got kind of hooked. But the whole point of me saying that is, I realized there's a person who commented a month ago on one of my videos. So I gotta tell you, I read every comment. I'll even go back on my videos to make sure I don't miss comments. Someone asked me to use a certain build, and I said to them I'm going to use the build, and yet for some reason I don't have a video on my computer with that build yet. Someone also asked me to use Ghostface. I already recorded that video actually. I'm going to upload that one soon. But the thing is, I don't want to miss y'all's builds, so I'm thinking about, there's like a button or something on my channel called the community tab. And I realized I used to use it a lot, well, like for like a week, and then I kind of forgot about it. I'm gonna put out a community tab, and then y'all should be able to see a community post on me, and y'all should be able to see it. And if you're subscribed or not subscribed, you should still be able to see it. And I want y'all to put y'all's build requests there. That way I can easily go back to it and I can use them. Also, I can make like really easy videos. Of course, you can still comment your builds in the comments. This guy's like, please kill me, I give up. I'm like, yes sir. But of course, I'm still gonna read y'all's comments, but I realize I don't want to miss when y'all ask me to use certain builds, and I noticed that I've been missing like a few, cause y'all ask me through a video, like a build, I'll respond to it, and then normally when I respond to it, I take a screenshot of it so I have it saved in my camera roll, so I can go back and be like, okay, this person wanted me to make a build, but because some y'all been commenting a lot, and I love reading y'all's comments, I get like so, I'm gonna say overwhelmed, but basically it's like, y'all comment, this girl's like, don't kill me. I'm like, I guess. Like, y'all comment, I respond. I forget, and I'm human, and I don't want to make those mistakes. So I'm going to make a little community post, and I'm going to ask y'all to post all y'all's builds there, and I will, of course, be making videos with them. Probably gonna do it like once a week, or maybe more. Who knows? But yeah, I'm trying to make the use of the community uh area more and more and more because I want to show y'all I want to basically show y'all that all y'all support y'all show me is actually really really appreciated and that I love doing builds for y'all. So I believe the next video I have planned is I think I have a build with I think I have 3 different. Actually, I don't know. I have no idea. Actually, I have a lot of videos coming. I have like 5 videos still coming that aren't even build request related. Then I still have to make the tier list video for the maps, which I haven't forgot about. And then I still need to do 3 more request builds. And I was like, I gave the cloud at the hatch because I was like, you know what? Why not? But I still have to do 3 request builds. One for Jacoby. One is the Ghostface video, which I already recorded, but I have to edit it. And another one is someone asked me to use, I believe it was Agitation, Iron Grasp, and 2 other perks. And I completely forgot to make the video, so I gotta make that one too. So I have to do that, and then I have to do the tier list video. I have a lot of videos planned for y'all. I'm so sorry, but also you have to realize I'm in college. It is not as easy as you think. It's a lot going on. I'm so sorry, but yes, I have a lot of videos coming. Please stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I always read y'all's comments, but now it's time to go to the next video. The next game where I'm gonna still be using Blood Favor, but I'm also gonna be showcasing Desolation, so I can show y'all which one I think is better and why you should use which ones. Again, it's a long video, so I'm sorry for that. But we'll go to the next game of the video so I can show you how great this build is. Okay, playing on Grim Pantry again, by the way. But I'm kind of fine with that because I have a different build for y'all, but it's still using Hex Blood Favor because I want to showcase Hex Blood Favor, and I want to show off Desolation today. So there's more Hex Blood Favor games than there are Desolation games, and the reason why there's more of them is because if you watch my previous videos, you would know that I use Desolation a lot. So if you really need references on why I think Desolation is amazing / better than Blood Favor in certain situations, you can literally just go back and watch any video where I use Desolation. There's a lot of them, by the way. So you can definitely go back and you can look at those. But then also, I want to make more videos using Hex Blood Favor because not only do I not use it nearly as much, I think it has hidden potential to be a really good perk with Storm Merchant, especially once they fix these bugs. This build, however, is going to showcase what happens when your Hex Blood Favor gets destroyed, which almost always gets destroyed instantly, which I really hate. So I hit someone immediately, and I'm like, okay, I'll go after you. But because they ran away, I'm like, no. So I'm going in the main building, but I got really unlucky in the main building upstairs part, so the part that will let you go upstairs just so happens to be on the other side. So of course they finished the gym before I could do anything. I'm like, oh man. I'm gonna hit Michaela because we can't have any humans or any people, any survivors living. I have to kill them all with my Scrum Merchant. My Hex Blood Favor gets immediately cleansed because the game's like, nope, you can't have a perk. But luckily for me, Michaela is gonna run and get immediately hit by my drone. I'm gonna get rid of it because honestly, I don't need it. I have never seen this area of the map spawn like this. There is literally nothing here. And this is the reason why people complain about Dead by Daylight. Like, you just saw me play Grim Pantry. What was over here? Rocks, a pallet, and a jungle gym kind of close. What's over here now? Literally trees. Like, there's nothing here. It's air. And it's so weird because that's just how the game works. And also, the loop, like the jungle gym area in Grim Pantry was so much more different earlier in the video than it was now. It's just so weird. Now, I personally love it. Like, that's actually one of my favorite things about Dead by Daylight. How every time you play a map, it changes. Also, I don't know what this guy's doing. How every time you play a map, it changes. Also, I did change, instead of brown noise generator, we now have advanced mood prediction, which will basically show me the, it will show me the auras of survivors who get Cloud Trap, because I like advanced mood prediction a lot. I really love that add-on a lot. It's really fun. But, the main reason why I did it is because I wanted to try and showcase, I want to try and see when people get Claw Trapped. And also, at the time of recording this video, I kind of forgot that, Desolation's bugged, so I can't see the aura of survivors anyway. Well, Desolation and Hex Blood Favor are bugged, so when they get Claw Trapped, I can't see them. But someone get Claw Trapped, I don't know what they are. And then it hit me up there right there, thanks to my advanced move prediction. I'm also gonna hit this girl with an attack. Someone cleansed my totem, so of course, I'm going to put a Hex Pimento. Because this build right now is Spore Trick, Pain Resonance, Hex Plaything, Hex Blood Favor, and Hex Pimento. Now survivors automatically have a 30% penalty to all gens, which is really, really good for me. And I'm going to try and make that work. I'm going to try and use it to my advantage. This girl's going to try and like loop anything she can, but of course, because the game was really, really unlucky with the spawns, there's literally nothing here. It's just trees and grass, and I've never seen this happen before. It is kind of unlucky. Like, at least have some rocks or something. But like, you literally have nothing here, game. Like, I don't get it. Behavior. But yeah, like I told you, my favorite part about this game is actually the randomness of the game. Like, I like the fact I can play on the same map 10 times and get it to be different every single time, and I love that. I also kind of hate it, though, because I get maps like this, where I get really good map RNG for me, but survivors get really, really bad map RNG. Like, literally, I have a 3-gen right here. I'm not going to use it, because I have to, of course. But it's the fact of the matter that the game gave me a 3-gen for no reason. One side of the map has no pallets and no rocks. It's just grass. While the other side of the map is a 3-gen for me. And then my totems are in really good locations. So it's just a really fun experience for me. So right here, this girl's going to try to go to pallet. But I hit the rock. I hit the crate because I'm bad. She's going to drop the pallet. But because I know this loop is mind gameable, I'm going to try and mind game it. But the girl's like, yeah, I don't like this anymore. I'm kind of bored. And she's going to go through the window, most likely. And then she's like, I'm going to vault the pallet. I'm like, you do that. I expected her to go down the fall area and fall outside the window. But apparently she was like, nope. Now, most people in that situation would fall down the window because trying to mind game that pallet coming back. But she was like, nope. So right here, I got 2 claw traps. I really, really wish it would show me who was who so I could go after the right person. But because of the fact that one cloud trap gets removed, I'm like, well, clearly, Ace is cloud trapped over here, behind me, and this girl's cloud trap was up here. So I'm gonna try and kill the generator again, so I can, of course, get it regressing. I know weird map RNG. Normally, the top area up there is like really, really long, but for some reason it's kind of short, and only 1 gen spawn up there. I have literally seen it where 2 gens spawn up there. It's actually insane. And I'm like, what the world? So Ace is like, please kill me. I'm like, yes, sir. I guess he realized, after his claw trap ran off, he's like, oh. But it kind of confuses me, because he can literally, oh, no, he can't. I was going to say, he can literally see me. But now I remember, when I made this video, I purposely used Hex Plaything, because instead of me having to use the Oblivious add-on, I can just make them Oblivious with Hex Plaything, which is the exact same thing as using the Oblivious add-on. And then I can still use advanced move prediction to see where survivors are. Which is pretty good. This girl, I'm like, you dead hard? Nope. Then she uses Claw Trap, so I'm like, well, if she had dead hard in the first place, she can't use it now. So now she's dead. Also, I was watching someone play a game, and I noticed that they had, like, an add-on that makes survivors, what's it called? That makes survivors exhausted. And then they hit them. And then also, even though they had the add-on to make it survivors exhausted, they were using Legion, by the way, not Skull Merchant. They had the add-on to make them exhausted, and they hit them, and they got injured, but then Overcome activated, and I was like, oh. So even if you're injured, and when you get injured, you're exhausted, Overcome still works, which makes sense, but I kind of was hoping it would be the opposite, where because I purposely injured the survivor, Overcome's not going to work, but nope, it still works. So right here, we're going to down Ace, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry to kill you, Ace, but you touch that generator, you don't have the side strike anymore, I gotta kill you. I pick up Ace, and I'm able to hook him. I was trying to suspense, maybe he has a side strike or not, but he did not. So luckily for me, I'm gonna kill him, and now Ace is dead. And it's kind of funny because Ace is actually my favorite male survivor in the game. Detective Tap and Ace, my favorite. Someone's gonna cleanse my Experimental Totem. I'm like, dang it. But because someone gets Cloud Trap, I'm like, are you the girl? Did I hook everyone yet? I don't remember honestly if I hooked everyone or not. I'm pretty sure I never hooked the Claudette, but I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. But anyway, obviously I don't know what's happening in my own game, which is kind of sad. So sadly, I am going to try and chase Claudette, but she's going to be able to the pallet. But luckily, she did not. If she would have passed the right direction, she would make to the pallet, but she did not. So I'm fine with that. Speaking of pallets, even though it's not related at all, let's talk about the PTB changes that are coming to Dead by Daylight. So, at the time of recording this video, this is during the Blood Moon event. At the time of commentating this video, however, the Twins PTB has come out. Well, not come. Yeah, has come out, and the Twins are looking absolutely phenomenal and busted, which is so much fun. And I wonder what they're gonna do to fix them. I personally play the Twins a little bit because I find their power interesting. The ability to have a power where you can basically be in two places at one time, but then also have the ability to see where survivors are. It's pretty good. So right here, I'm going to use my advanced move prediction to my advantage. I noticed she's not going to go towards the window, so I can vault the window safely and continue chasing her. I know the power right here, but I don't really care. But then it hit me. Wait, there is the power right here, and it kind of hit me that, wait a minute, Claudette was over here earlier, so I'm pretty sure I must have already hit the Claudette, but because I honestly don't remember, we're going down this girl, hook her, someone's going to flash at me, I'm like, what are you doing? And now I'm trying to go after this person. I'm right, yeah, I did down Claudette, because I downed Claudette right here. That's fine. So everyone's oblivious, which is really good for me, so they don't know where I'm coming from. I don't really have to put drones up anymore, but I choose to put drones up anyway, because it hides my red stain. So if they don't hear my terror radius, they don't see my red stain. And then it hit me, wait a minute, the survivors 3-gen themselves. Again, which I love that. And it's so funny, because if you watch this game, I literally have been over here twice. I think. I downed I downed Ace here. I chased Claudette around here. And I just downed Sable over here. And that was it. I've mainly been in the main building near the area with the nothing, and near the area where that gen was on top. So it's kind of funny how they 3-gen themselves by accident, which I'm fine with that. Because now all I have to do is protect this little area, and the survivors lose the game. But I'm gonna kill them before they even get a chance to try and like even do gens, because everyone's dead on hook, I believe. So that makes it easier for me. Well, everyone's close to dead on hook, which makes it easier. Speaking of things, let's talk about the PTB again. So, Twins look absolutely busted, and they gotta fix those problems. Personally, for me, what I would do is, that was a really clean hit, by the way. What I would do with Twins to fix the problem is I would make it so that way, Victor has a 5-second cooldown, at least, when he hits someone. Like, the fact that he can hit someone, and then immediately run after them again, and basically chase them while they get their speed boost, is kind of insane. That's the first problem I would fix. The second problem I would fix is the fact that they get a 10-second, well, Charlotte gets a 10-second haste boost once she, I hate that. She decided to, duck the pallet. Then she's gonna do my drone in front of me. I'm like, what are you doing? And then she's gonna vault the window. But I don't know why she did that, because, like, I would have just ran away. But it was smart play, but unless you disable the drone quickly, you can't really do that against Skull Merchant. At least not in Chase. But I like the attempt, honestly. But, yeah, Claude, it's kind of funny because like, they kind of make them really, really strong. And it's kind of like, the Twins, not even a bad killer. Just no one plays them, and they have 14 billion bugs every patch. So it just, like, ruins them. But, he's a 5-second cooldown when he hits someone. The 10% haste is fine, but the problem is, like I thought about it when I read the patch notes. I was like, you're giving them haste so they can catch up to the person they down. I get that. But you do realize that they can just use the haste for chasing other survivors. So now you have a killer who moves faster than Skull Merchant does with speed buff that can chase survivors and all, as long as you don't get Victor off the ground, you get basically 10% haste buff for a long time, which is kind of strong. But honestly, the 10% haste isn't really that strong, and not really the main issue. The main issue is Victor can down you super fast, and the only real way to counter him is to miss, but that's up to the killer and kind of up to you. But Victor's kind of a it's not really hard to hit a Victor hit, especially when you're close to the survivor. So it's kind of funny. Also, of course, Sable had a brand new part, but yeah, that's the PTB changes, and I kind of like them, like I said. But it's just like we gotta fix some things. There's some other PTB changes that I want to talk about too, but let's go to the next game so I can show you how great this build is, and let's talk more about the PTB. Of course, if you have any comments on the PTB that's coming out soon, let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely respond to them like I always do. Okay, for the last game of us using Blood Paper, I have 5 games to showcase this build. Well, to showcase Blood Paper because I wanted to again show y'all more uh content on the Blood Paper because Blood Paper is like an unused perk, at least for Score Merchant in my opinion, and I feel like it's useful. So I wanted to go show it off. Luckily for me, I have a drone in a really good spot. I mean, not a drone. I have a totem in a really good spot. So I know Alan Wake. I know it's Alan Wake, so I know he has Champion of Light. He's gonna hinder me because every single Alan Wake uses that perk. So I was mentally prepared for that, but luckily for me, I got a scan on him, so all I had to do is scan him 2 more times, and then he's going to get Cloud Trapped. So Alan Wake's like, I'm going to go over here near this nothing pallet that's really, really unsafe, but because I'm an idiot, I put my drone in a really bad spot where it actually won't locate him. So now I gotta move it, but then Alan Wake decides to run towards me, then use his speed boost to run through me, so he gets like no distance, and yeah, he gonna die. So because of that reason, I'm gonna try and chase him, but he's like, I'm gonna drop down this pallet, because even though I hit him, Blood Favor, for some unknown reason, was like, I am not going to scan the guy, I'm not going to stop this pallet in particular, even though literally it was definitely, in my opinion, 32 meters, away from him. I don't understand how that happened, but that's just how it happened. So that's what happened. Now we're gonna hook this person, and then we're gonna go to the next person. Sadly, that chase took so long to where they have a lot of generators just like being done. They already completed one, but I believe there were 2 people on that person on that gen. That's the reason why I got done so fast. But that's just me. But anyway, while we're chasing this girl, let's talk about the other PTB changes. So not only do they change, you know, not Blight. Not only do they change twins, they also change the Blight. Right here, this girl can keep volleying this pallet. I'm like, you do that, but I'm just gonna hit you. Then she realizes, wait, I'm gonna get scanned by a drone and die. So she decides to, let me hit her. I'm fine with that. She has Cloud Trap. I can see her aura. She's gonna vault that way. I'm gonna go around. Then she's gonna vault again. I'm like, what are you doing? Kind of funny. But anyway, for this palette. But yeah, let's talk about, so I talked about twins. They need a few changes to make them not utterly oppressive. Kind of funny because they have a perk named Oppression, so they became oppressive while the chains are out. But I feel like they're kind of in the right spot. Like, all they really have to do is fix some problems, like Victor's having a 5-second cooldown, and some other stuff, and I feel like everything will be fine. Blight got, I believe, 2 add-on changes, I want to say, and then also they fixed the hug tech. Basically, there's like this tech with Blight where you can like hug the wall, and like instead of getting hit by the wall, you would just like run across it. I guess I don't play Blight, so I have no idea. But I think that's what the tech was about. You basically have the ability to just hug walls, not actually hit them, and be able to hit survivors in really, really unfair-ish situations that you normally wouldn't get a hit on because of the tech. But they're gonna fix that. Kind of funny though, because even though they got rid of the tech, I don't think it's gonna even like make Blight any worse. Because I literally was watching a video where someone was using Blight and they didn't even use the hug tech once, and they literally destroyed people. Like, it just, you don't need hug tech to win. It is kind of something cool that certain killers get, like how Chucky can do a really hard to do flick and down people in certain situations he normally couldn't. But they got rid of Chucky's flick, which kind of concerns me because people were like, well, they got rid of Chucky's flick, are they gonna get rid of other killers' flicks? And I'm like, that's a good question. He couldn't drop the pallet down because of Hex Blood Paper. I was like, okay, he should have vault the window. He didn't. He faked it, but I don't know why he faked it. Because if he didn't fake it, he would probably got more distance, honestly. But he chose to fake it, and as a result, he died. Pretty kind of funny. Anyway, it's just funny to me because they really just like didn't do anything with Blight. Like, they changed him, but I feel like the change isn't really necessary. No, Not necessarily, but I mean, I don't think the change is gonna really do anything. That girl faked it, but this time it was actually pretty good because they faked it in a way that made it really hard for me to tell what's gonna happen. So right here, I'm pretty sure I scan her one more time. She's gonna get claw trapped. She knows that. She's like, I'm not gonna die. I'm like, fine, I guess. She dropped the pallet. I'll make her vault it. She vaults it, gets claw trapped. Now she's gonna be stuck right there. And she can just keep vaulting over and over again. I'm like, what are you doing? You need to run. Like, you can mind game, but if I'm smart, I can just hit you. So you have to be smart also, but she wasn't, she doesn't really prepare for that, which I understand. It's kind of hard to do it. Kind of hard to figure out how to beat that, honestly. But anyway, they give another gentleman. I am not stopping these gens at all, and that's because of the fact that I haven't put down my secret weapon, my hex pimento. So now I'm gonna try and put down my hex pimento, and now every single generator will be doing 30% slower. But first, I want to try and protect the people from getting her off the hook. So I'm gonna hit this girl, and then they're gonna try to rescue her behind my back, which I'm fine with that, kind of. But we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna use my hex pimento. Blood Fever activates, and they can't even use those pallets. But it doesn't really matter if I'm done chasing that girl anyway. I'd rather go after this girl instead. Because I know Alan Wake and I believe the Sable are dead on hook. Well, not Sable. I believe Alan Wake and the second girl, who I can't remember, are dead on hook. So I'm going to go after them instead. But I don't know where she went. She's going to try and probably drop the pallet on me. But nope. She kept running to the left, and I'm like, dang it. But well, it's fine. But anyway, so after Blight, we have, I think there's 3 perk changes. Yes, the Silent Strike. The Silent Strike got buffed from 3 seconds back to 5. And it got a new stabbing animation. Honestly, it's not good because the stabbing animation takes so long that the 5 seconds turns basically into like 4 seconds, which is nothing. Also, I'm gonna try and kill this Alan Wake if I can. And someone decided to cleanse my pimento, which makes me sad, but it's fine because I still have Hex and Blood Fever somehow. And once they cleanse their playthings, I will get more what's it called? Hex pimento value, which is kind of funny. But anyway, because of the fact that they chained the side strap after 5 seconds. Normally, most people be worried, but I don't really care because, again, I rarely tunnel. And also the same restrictions that it has before, where it's like, oh, you can't do this. You can't do this. Like, if you can't hear yourself, I believe, well, you can't hear yourself, you can't do a gen, you can't do a total, whatever the restrictions are to the strike. Because of all those, I'm like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter because I don't tunnel anyway. And if the survivor does any of those things, well, they still can't get the buff. They can't get the benefit from the perk. So it being 5 seconds doesn't really change anything for me, personally. But that's just me. Now, do I think it's a good buff? Of course. Tunneling is a problem that should be out the game. Not lie. Tunneling should be out the game because you need to tunnel people to get them out the game. Sadly, because of the fact that my claw trap injured her and didn't cause her to get wounded, she was able to use that hard, but she didn't go anywhere with it, so it didn't really matter, honestly. But yeah, I don't think tunneling is really like should be at the game per se, because in certain situations, well, I lied. In every situation, tunneling really is just the best strategy in the game. But of course, there should be ways to break tunneling. Now, the problem with Decide Strike is against a Blight or a Nurse, Decide Strike 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Literally does nothing. Nurse can literally still just blink and kill you. Sometimes using one blink only, which is kind of funny. And then Blight can still just chase you and kill you instantly. Unknown can even teleport and hit you. So what I'm saying is, a lot of killers will still have the exact same issue. Like, a lot of killers can still tunnel you and I have to care about this high strike. But then killers like Skull Merchant or other ones like who don't have a movement ability, oh, they'll definitely struggle with it. But again, if you just don't tunnel, then you don't have to worry. Sadly, I did lose all my hex, my hex playthings, but it's fine because we're at the end of the game anyway. And surprisingly, Hex Blood Fever lasted the entire game, and I had a lot of value out of it this game. So yes, this is my first time hooking her, so we're gonna get another Hex Blood Fever. Now I'm trying to find where Sable is, and I'm like, where you at? Where you at, girl? I gotta find you so I can kill you, but I have no idea where she is. Well, she is. And then she dies. I don't know why she ran into me like that, but it's fine. And now we win the game, which I love that. But yes, that was the last game of me using, of course, Hex of Blood Paper. So now that we're done using Hex of Blood Paper, it's time to use Desolation, and I'm gonna show y'all why I think Desolation is better in every single way. So, like I said, even if this far in the video, I know this video is an hour long. I know. I don't really post. I did post a video that's almost an hour long, actually, before, but I don't really normally post videos like this. But I like to give y'all as much content as possible, especially when it comes to explaining why I think certain perks are better than other perks. But the fact that Desolation cannot be countered unless they don't vault the palette, and the fact that Hex of Blood Paper cannot be countered by just moving 32 meters away from the hook or from the person who got hit, or just breaking the totem, it's kind of bad. But yes, let's go to the next game so I can show you how great Desolation is and how great the next build I'm about to be using is. Okay, playing on the Treatment Theater using Desolation. So the build today is Scorch Pain Resonance, Ruin, Desolation, and Hex Haunted Grounds. The reason why I use these weird perks, if I was in the mood to use Hex perks, I regret it. Because this is actually one of the hardest games I've ever had in Score Merchant. So, Score Merchant. So if you stay to the end of the game, I literally saved the best game for last. And as you'll see. This game was extremely difficult because I was actually fighting against us Robber friends. We have 2 Sables, and we have 2. I can't remember the name of that character, but we have 2 Sables. And we have 2 whoever that is on the girl from Stranger Things on our against us. I am bad, and I missed my hit for some reason. I think because I was looking for a grab, but I ended up just failing. So right here, I'm like, well, I never gonna go back to the Jin because why wouldn't you? And then someone lost the window. I'm like, oh, you. Oh, yeah, her name is Nancy. There's her name. So I'm like, to the pallet. Thank you. Broke the God pallet. And as you can see, I'm using Desolation, but sadly, I didn't get any value out of it right now. Then I realized that this generator is not regressing, or just stopped regressing, because this girl was on it. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to just go after you. Into the pallet. Pretty obvious. She can't go anywhere because luckily for me, there's no exits. One more scan, and she gets claw trapped. So I'm trying to scan one more time, but I was like, you know what? Actually, it ain't worth it. So, because of the fact that now I know she needs one more scan, I'm going to just go back to work the generator again. They're probably on it. And they were not on it, surprisingly. But because of the fact that I have advanced move prediction, I can see exactly where they are. Because I'm using the same add-ons from before. I'm using a different build. I'm going to get a free hit. I don't like the fact that, like, the generator sound happens. Like, the sound that's like, okay, it's regressing. I hate that that happens like a second after she moved, because she was already in the window when I had got the when I made the sound. So I was like, really? So right here, I'm like, this girl's gonna make the pallet, isn't she? She's gonna drop the pallet. I'm trying to mind game by going inside this little cubby, knowing I can't mind game it, but I'm gonna try anyway. She's gonna vault right there. I'm like, oh, of course. I don't want to break this pallet because even though I probably should, and then she's gonna vault the window for some reason. Vault the pallet. I'm like, yes, finally get it down. And then she got a random explosion. Like, it's just the weirdest game. But they already did 2 gens because they are really coordinated Survivor friends. Like, literally, there's nothing I can do. So at this point, I'm like, well, I have to find the closest person I can find. But the problem is, I don't want them to go near my totems, besides, of course, my haunted ground one. And luckily for me, they're a little oblivious, and they don't know that I'm coming. But they also don't know where my totems are. And this girl is like, I'm gonna go right here. She's already injured, so I'm not that worried. I don't know what she's doing. I'm worried that someone's gonna try and go for a save, but I don't care. Because I kind of have to pick up this girl immediately and put her on a hook. Sadly for me, there's no Scorchers. Of course, all the Scorchers are on the other side of the map. They do another gen, by the way. So it's been 3.5 minutes, I think. And they've done already 3 gens. They're really coordinated, which is kind of annoying. So then I'm like, well, now this is the part of the video where you're probably like, oh my gosh, he's gonna lose. I don't lose. Let me explain. So right here, I have an option. I can protect these 3 gens that are right next to each other, or I can go across the entire map and protect that 1 gen and leave these 3 gens right next to each other, and also run into the girl that I just hooked and go after that gen instead. Now, any smart survivor would know what to do. Not to mention I just killed this girl because of Hex on the ground. So I'm going to go after the girl too because I want to try and get down on her. Luckily for me, she what's it called? Luckily for me, I was able to down her friend, but I know she's gonna drop the pallet. But she did not get the pallet. I'm like, what are you doing? So I'm hoping she dropped the pallet, but she's like, I'm gonna not drop the god pallet because that pallet is like really, really hard to deal with. Then this girl's like, I'm gonna go right here. I'm like, okay, I see you have off the record. That's the reason why you were acting so weird. But I'm gonna down this girl, and while this is happening, I already can tell the survivors are probably at the generator across the entire map, and there's nothing I can do about it because if I go towards that generator over there, they're just going to most likely complete it and then do the generators that are right here. So I'm like, well, I literally don't have any other options. I have to go right here. This god pallet, I have to break it. They go rescue their teammate. I'm chasing one girl. One girl rescued their teammate. So that means it's probably one girl on the generator still. And I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go back because I kind of have to apply some pressure. And look what happened. They did the generator across the map. There's nothing I could have done about that. There's also no reason to try and defend it because there's no reason to try and defend it. Luckily for me, I do still have Ruin, and Ruin did get buffed like a long time ago to where even if someone dies, it still stays up. So all I have to do is try and protect my Ruin, which is easier said than done, honestly. But right here, this girl's gonna try and go over here. I'm like, okay, you do that. Claw trap immediately. And now she's gonna have to go somewhere, but there's nowhere for her to go because this pallet is kind of booby trapped by more claw trap, by more drones. But I expected her to go back, but because of the fact she's nowhere to go, I get her down. I want to hook her immediately. The problem is, 4 of the scorch hooks are on the other side of the map. I've never seen such bad RNG. Like, I don't understand what this game was. Why did the 4 scorch hooks spawn across the entire map on one side? I have said before in my videos, and I've seen people say it, where the only problem with scorch hooks is that it's completely random, where they spawn, and it's true. But I've never seen it spawn like this before. So right now, I'm like, well, it's a really bad game. Because we have 1 gen left. I think I've hooked everyone once. Maybe hooked 1 person twice, but I don't know who it is. Because I honestly was not paying attention when I was playing the game. All I know is that I need to protect this drone. And there's a Nancy right here who is running. I'm not going to even go after her because honestly, I don't care. I would prefer to get this girl in second stage hooked, but I'm not going to do that because I want to actually, you know, still play the way I want to play. Like, I know I have the 3 gen now, and probably, and like half the people, well, people who watch this video and got to the end know that 3 genning is necessary if you want to win sometimes. But also, half of y'all who play Score Murder, oh my gosh, he 3 gen. Right here, this girl's gonna do the dumb tech. I'm like, you're the dumbest person. Like, literally, dumb tech for, like, I don't know what pallet tech me. I'm like, you know, I'm not stupid. Like, I don't understand why survivors try that. That is so old and it's so obvious. Like, it's just the dumbest thing. And the worst part is, she had decisive, so you didn't even need to do it. Like, you just wanted to try it out. Like, I'm confused. So this girl, I want to break up out in a minute. But first, I'm going to go over here so I can make sure these generators are not being worked on. And lo and behold, it's like already almost half. So I really need to make sure I pay attention to that. Because at the time of recording this video, well, at the time of making this video, it's just a lot going on. Like, I use my untenable side effect to my advantage, and I make sure the survivors know where I'm coming from. Because I don't have Hex plaything, I can't make them oblivious. And because the one time I didn't use the stupid green add-on brown noise generator, I also don't have the ability to make them oblivious. So now I'm like, well, I basically have to try and defend that generator over and over again while survivors continuously do it easily. So right here, I hear the girl. I'm like, yes, I can down her. Their heart doesn't have their heart, and he doesn't have their heart, so I'm going to down her. Leave her on the ground for now because I know they're probably doing the generator across the map. Luckily for me, they haven't found my Ruin yet, which makes me happy. I noticed the girl's on the ground, and she's probably like doing the she's probably rescuing the girl off the ground right now because I saw the radar pick her up. But I'm prepared for that mentally, but I'm not prepared for it actually. So I'm trying to find the girl who I just downed, wherever she went. She crawled into a cubby somewhere. I don't know where she is. There she is. I expected a flashbang, but surprisingly, I didn't get a flashbang. I should have known once I saw the lobby, honestly, that it would be a Sarah friend and picked whatchamacallit, Lightborn, but I didn't do it because I was like, nope. So even though I've technically gotten no value at Desolation, the reason why Desolation is better than Blood Paper is because of the fact in situations like this, or in situations in general, you have the ability to basically deny survivors from vaulting pallets. They can either vault the pallet and the pallet is broken, or they can not vault the pallet, and because they didn't vault the pallet, they have to go a different way, and you know they're gonna go that way, and you chase them. And that's the reason why Desolation, in my opinion, is just so much better than Blood Paper. Like, it just, first thing, it always works. They can't counter it unless they don't vault the pallet, which I've said multiple times in this video. Second, they either have to make a choice, literally make your choice. They have to make your choice, and they have to figure out what they're gonna do. And half the time, they do the wrong thing, and it makes you win. So right here, I'm gonna go back towards this drone because I noticed that this drone is up, which means someone's been over here. They finally break my perk, and notice what I said. I hate the fact that I get the loud noise notifications, or I get notifications about stuff a second after they're done. I kind of hate that because she broke it in front of me and then was still able to walk past the generator, and I was unable to see her until the last second. This girl is gonna go down. I'm like, I bet they're gonna try and save her, but I have no other choice. I sped a flashbang, but luckily no flashbang. Now he's dead on hook. Now we have one less person to deal with, and we have to go back over here. And this is the reason why you 3-gen. Like, not you 3-gen on purpose, but this is the reason why when you get a 3-gen, you keep it. There is no reason to ever go across the entire map and try and defend a generator across the map when you can do this. And again, if you watched the video, you notice that I didn't do anything. I didn't try and keep this 3-gen. I literally was chasing them, and they had coordination, and they knew what they were doing. They purposely did 2 gens. They purposely did 1 gen at a time, but they did it with 2 people. Because they knew that they do it with 2 people, it's faster than doing it with 1 person. And because they did it with 2 people, they were able to easily overpower me and do every gen across the entire map before I could do anything about it. Which is why Survivor Friends is kind of scary. Because they have the ability to, like, use extremely good teamwork to their advantage, which is kind of scary, honestly. But it's needed, and honestly, I kind of like it. Like, I like it because it's challenging, but I hate it because they have games like this where it's like I have to try extremely hard. I want to win. Nancy, luckily for me, is oblivious, not because of the add-on one, but because of the fact that I'm unattainable. So because of that reason, she doesn't know where I'm coming from, and I'm able to hook her near a close hook, and then I can go back toward the other generator before they complete it. But the problem is, again, I have 4 sword hooks that are across the entire map. So basically, I actually only have 1 perk right now, and that's Desolation, which is kind of sad. I had Ruin and Desolation, and they're the only perks that have done anything for me. This generator is literally at like 80 and almost done. But luckily for me, they went for the rescue immediately. Then Nancy's like, I'm going to try and hide. I'm like, no, have eyes. I'm going to try to cut her off, but being smart. Use my untouchable side effect to my advantage. And luckily for me, it actually almost worked out. But the problem is Nancy's like, no. I kind of want to move this drone, honestly, but surprisingly, it actually hit her. Don't know how. So because of that reason, I'm going to go after her later. I know exactly where she is. I can track her later. If she goes towards the generator, I know exactly where she's going to go, so I don't have to worry anymore. I'm going to go back towards this gen. I noticed they're not touching this gen in the middle. Like really at all. They haven't barely touched it. Probably because there's like 14 billion drones here. So I'm going to put this drone back, and I'm going to kick this gen. The reason I'm going to put it back is because first thing, it makes it unattainable, so they don't know where I'm coming from. And secondly, it also resets it and puts it not in active mode, so they can't actually see the drone beams. So right here, this girl's gonna try and vault every single window, because apparently not only did they get really good, not only did I get really unlucky with the Scorcher spawns, I also got really unlucky with the how the map spawn, because they got window into window, and I'm like, dang it. I know Nancy's dead on hook, so I'm trying to go after her, but not everyone's injured, so I can see exactly what they are using their radar. So I'm going this way, pretend like I'm gonna go after Nancy. Realize that maybe I should go after her, but I know she has Dead Heart probably, because you know who doesn't have Dead Heart at this point. Desolation finally works. I'm gonna put a drone right here. Well, I'm trying to get rid of this one, replace it, and try to become unattainable. But I realize no, these survivors aren't stupid. They know I'm gonna be after them, and they're not gonna go and try and like do anything stupid. Right here, I'm gonna put this drone right here and try and mind game right here, but she's like, nope, I'm gonna run away. But she gets stuck on me, and I'm like, yay. And now we have 2 people down. There is no reason for Nancy to do the drone or do the Jin. She most likely is going to try and rescue her teammate, which she did. And because one the secret to beating Survivor friends is they're really altruistic. So if you just down everyone, they're gonna go rescue their teammates unless they have Unbreakable. Right here, I see Nancy. I'm like, okay, but you're not the person I'm looking for. I'm looking for the other girl. And right here, we found her, the other Nancy. So I'm like, okay, you're gonna vault this window eventually, eventually. And she vaults it, but of course she's gonna run from me. Luckily for me, she gets claw trap, so she can't use her live. She drops a explosion. I'm like, you do that. And luckily for me, her friend is not here to save her life, so I'm able to down her. And I'm pretty sure this Nancy's dead on hook. I could be wrong, because they look the exact same, and there's 2 of them. But we'll see what happens. Yes, I was right. So now we have to go back towards the same Jin again, so we can figure out how to beat it. And I finally got value out of Desolation, even though, again, like I said, it was the first time I got value out of it this entire game. But like, it's the fact that I got value out of it. Then this girl's gonna get claw trapped, and now I'm like, okay, you can't use that hard. I mean, and I don't have to worry anymore. So now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go after you. This girl's down. This girl's on the ground. I need to kill her, but I'll kill her later. She's slowed down, but I know she's gonna make the pallet because why wouldn't she? She's gonna camp the pallet because I'll be smart. And then I down her, and I'm like, yes, I won. I beat the Survivor Friends of Nonsense, and I was like, I did it. Ugh. That was the hardest game, one of the hardest games I've ever had. It wasn't the hardest game. The hardest game I've ever had is actually coming out soon. I have a video post. Literally, the name of the video is called "The Hardest Game I've Ever Had in Dead by Daylight." It was literally right when I got to rank 1. It was so weird. But right here, I'm like, no, you're not. Like, I do not care at all. I'm not giving you the hatch. Like, you need to die. Like, that was the worst thing ever. I hated that match. Because, first thing, I had a 3-gen, what I don't even want to do. And the second thing, they just did every gen in, like, a literal minute. They literally speed the gens. They were like, 2 people on 1 gen, and that was it. And I'm just like, no, you don't deserve the hatch. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like, I could not do it. And as you can see, this is recorded a long time ago. So, I couldn't do it. Like, I was like, nope, you need to die. But anyway, you're right, wondering, is that the only game you have Desolation? Yes. That game was the whole purpose of me showing off Desolation. If I had any other perk, they would have cleansed it immediately. So I was like, Desolation it is. They can't cleanse Desolation. They had to deal with that every single time. So yes, that was the video. I only showed off Desolation once, but that game right there was the perfect showcase of why Desolation's better. Just better in every way than Blood Paper. But anyway, thank you so much for staying this long, if you even did. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see y'all in the next video. Also, make sure you give me any tips you have. Also, explain what did the gen so fast. They had 2 boxes. They had 2 boxes. They had the best healing items in the universe, and of course, they had brand new parts. So of course. But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm just done with that game. That was so not fun when you have to play that game. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day.